Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today's event. And as we bring this inspiring global leadership summit for sustainable transitions to a close, I really just want to take a moment to reflect on the depth and the richness and urgency of the conversations we have shared today. We have gathered leaders from across sectors, geographies, disciplines, who are all united by one shared purpose: to lead transitions that are not only sustainable, but just, inclusive, and grounded in good governance. Throughout this dialogue that we've had, we've heard powerful insights on the intersections of governance, but also innovation, sustainability, and policy. We have been reminded that true leadership in this era of global transformation requires courage. We heard that from parents, courage and commitment and compassion. And this is the courage really to question our legacy systems, to embrace uncertainty, and to collaborate across traditional boundaries, as you mentioned, Cesar. Each speaker today has offered a piece of that blueprint of what sustainable leadership must look like in practice. It's grounded in integrity, and it's guided by long-term value creation. And it's also responsive to the needs of both people and planet, of course, within our economic context. So from the exploration of systemic risks and opportunities, as we saw in the technology panel, to case studies and real-world experiences that have been shared, the message really has been clear. I think sustainability is the message that is no longer a matter of corporate responsibility alone. It is seen, and it is becoming central to resilience, competitiveness, and I guess the future of governance itself. So the work we do as leaders must bridge this strategy and action. And Prof. Radebe in the beginning said that 90 days are really important, and that is bridging strategy and action to ensuring that transitions are not only well intended, but well executed and measurable. And I would like to call out the work that Mark and his team did in the Transition Planning Task Force, which has now moved to the ITP, and please go and have a look at that. And so with that, I'd like to really extend my heartfelt thanks to our partner organizations whose collaboration made today possible. The South African Business Schools Association, and Anne Wilson has really been a partner in this initiative. The Association of African Business Schools, EFMD, AACSB, and the Global Business Schools Network. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. So together, these institutions continue to demonstrate what collective stewardship looks like. We are strengthening the fabric of governance and sustainability across, as you saw, Africa, but also the world. To our very distinguished speakers and panelists, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your expertise and your candor, and also your vision. Brings us hope, really, to hear your voices come through in this way. Your contributions have sparked reflection, not only myself, but I'm sure everybody else. And more importantly, I think it's inspired action. And that is so important where we find ourselves today. You have brought forward the critical ideas and lived experiences that really illuminate what transitional leadership truly entails, or transition leadership. So a real sincere thank you also goes to Evelyn Parker and the Good Governance team. We have Kelvin Vanamava also on the call, and Q, and every member of the team working tirelessly behind the scenes to coordinate, communicate, and ensure that every detail of today's event ran seamlessly, although we did have those seams pull apart a little bit. But really, your dedication and professionalism, this team is amazing, and they continue to make the GGA a global convening platform for our knowledge exchange and collaboration. So the recordings presentations, summaries, and from a 1-minute briefing or 2-minute briefing to the 6-minute explainers will all be available on the next day or two, which will provide a rich resource for yourselves, your organizations, your colleagues, and your students. So please do revisit the event page and follow us on YouTube to access these and all the recordings from our past events. As we look ahead, today's discussions remind us that leadership is not an end in itself. It really is a means to create systems that serve humanity and preserve the planet. So let's take forward the insights from this summit and translate them into action and continue to build bridges between governance, sustainability, and innovation that really will define our next decade. And with that, on behalf of the Good Governance Academy, Professor Mervyn King, and everyone else on the board, including Owen Skay, who was one of our moderators, thank you once again for joining us, for sharing your voices, and for leading by example. Together, we really are shaping a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient future, no matter the tone around us. So thank you and goodbye until we meet again next year for our 6th Global Summit. Thank you very much, everyone.